Welcome back to your digital consultation. Today we continue with part 3, where we break down the full picture of Dubai real estate across different budget tiers. We'll start from the 200,000 euro range and work all the way up to 20 million euros and beyond. If you're a first-time investor or scaling into luxury assets, this will help you understand where the true opportunities are. Let's get into it. What can I get with a budget of 200,000 to 300,000 euros? If you're working with this budget, you're usually looking at studios and the occasional one-bedroom apartment, either in emerging areas or further out from the core investment hotspots and tourist areas. We'll cover opportunities below 200,000 euros in a separate video because that price point is a different strategy altogether. Now for 200,000 to 300,000, you'll find studios from developers like Binghatti in Business Bay with side canal views and partial Burj Khalifa views. These are off-plan, centrally located, and have very high rental potential. Now, you're not going to get explosive appreciation in already developed areas like Business Bay, but what you do get is stability, strong short-term rental demand, and a trusted developer with fast delivery. Always watch out for unknown developers in outer areas. This is where investors in the past have made mistakes. If the developer has no history or a poor track record, it's a risk. That's why credibility and building history matters more than just price. 300,000 to 500,000 euro budget tier. Now in this tier, we reached a level where you can get a one-bedroom that is either very central, with a very good view, for example in downtown, Dubai Marina, Creek Harbour, Dubai Hills, all massive communities and all top developers. But you can also get a one-bedroom with a side view on the beach in areas like Dubai Islands, Maritime City. We're still a bit short to get a front-facing beachfront one-bedroom because those start from around 2.3 to 2.8 million dirham, sometimes even more in consolidated areas like Amar Beachfront or Palm Jumeirah. However, with this budget, you can get a very strong one-bedroom in a solid project. And that means we can go for an area that's still in development, but with great infrastructure coming, like Dubai Islands, where we're expecting 2 championship golf courses, the second biggest mall in Dubai after the Dubai Mall, and over 7 kilometers of beaches. Or you can go for something in an area that's already consolidated or in a semi-developed master plan like Creek Harbour, which is already consolidated, but still has a long way to go to reach its full maturity. Same with Dubai Hills. You could even go for a branded residence, like we saw with Frank Mueller in downtown and Dubai Marina. Certain launches allow this price point to stretch even further if you move fast in the pre-launch phase to get a discount. Now, if you want to go for a bigger apartment with this budget, let's say a 2-bedroom, yes, it's possible, but again, it's the same story. You'll have to look into areas further out from the investment hotspots and tourist areas. And the further out you go, the less appreciation potential there is, or the more long-term the project becomes, such as Dubai South, which will take a minimum of 10 years to be fully developed. That's why areas like JVC are great for people who have 200 to 300,000 euro budget, and even 500,000 euros if you have to go for a 2-bedroom. JVC still works. It's good quality, there are good developers working there, but you won't get the same capital appreciation as you would in more supply-constrained developing areas, because JVC has a high supply of upcoming projects. So yes, you can rent it well. It's great if you want a 2-bedroom to partly use and partly rent out. And if you go with the right developer, in JVC, Arjan or Dubai Land, that can work perfectly fine. Now, historically, JVC has done very well in the past few years. We've seen rental yields reach even 9%. But remember, we're not looking at today, we're looking at what happens in the next few years, especially if you're buying into a project under construction. There will be a lot of new handovers in JVC, and that will affect potential appreciation. It'll still rent well, but there will be more competition, and that's just being realistic. So what we're seeing is the higher your budget, yes, you're spending more on the property, but you're also buying access to better locations, more supply-constrained locations, and more premium master-planned areas. And that's what gives you the strongest investment potential long-term. Now, 500,000 to 1 million euro budget tier. This is where something changes. When you reach this budget range, your options open up quite a bit more. For example, you could go for a 4-bedroom townhouse like in Damac Islands, starting from 600,000 euros, which is probably the cheapest townhouse you can get in Dubai at the moment. Would I recommend this? It depends on what you're looking to do. That's a separate conversation and probably a separate video. But what's more important is that now you can start accessing real beachfront 1-bedrooms, not just side views. And you also start seeing 2-bedrooms in established high-demand communities. Places like Dubai Hills, Creek Harbour, City Walk, Palm Jebel Ali, and so on. These are areas where there's always demand. You're working with quality developers and prices tend to hold and grow. This year, you're now dealing with projects from developers like Emaar, Miraz, Nakheel, Ellington, Omniat, Select Group, and more. And in the last 2 years, we've also seen strong performance from developers like Imtiaz and Binghatti, who are newer but are doing very well. So at this level, you're moving into more stable, non-speculative territory, and you're buying in the kind of communities that people actually want to live in, not just flip in for investors. €1 million to €1.5 million budget tier. Now we start getting into the early stages of the villa market and the top end of the apartment segment. At this level, you can buy a 3-bedroom beachfront apartment in communities like Dubai Islands, where you literally step out into the sand and into the beach, or front-facing units in towers where the 2 and 1 beds are only side-facing. A good example is Emaar beachfront, where most 1 and 2 bedrooms are side-facing, but on high floors, you can get full sea views. Same goes for Maritime City, Dubai Islands, where some towers do have those key units if you know where to look. Now, this is where you start entering the premium apartment market, and you're getting short, mid, and long-term rental demand. Very strong capital appreciation and long-term rental values that perform consistently. These are assets that give you liquidity, income, and generational value. No hassle with short-term occupancy issues, and this is long hold, long growth territory. At the same time, you're now entering the villa market. Communities like Tilal Al Ghaf, Dubai Hills, the Valley, some phases of the Oasis. You're even starting to touch Polo Club Resorts by Emaar, which is an incredible project. So here, you're looking at much stronger investments. These are not speculation driven. These are quality master communities in prime locations. 1.5 million to 3 million euro budget tier. Here we reach the top villa projects. I'm talking about water-facing lagoon villas in the Oasis by Emaar. Again, polo field-facing villas in Polo Club and Resorts by Emaar. Lagoon access villas in Tilal Al Ghaf and water-facing villas in Palm Jebel Ali. We're starting to touch this level. We're also going into the branded luxury residences. Now we're talking about Mr. C Residences by Cipriani, Jumeirah Emirates Towers and DIFC for the 2 and the 3 bedrooms and more. We're going into a market that creates its own liquidity and its own demand. What Dubai likes to do is to create liquidity by building master communities, and Emaar is #1 at doing this. But what branded residences do, and here you can add also address hotels and residences by Emaar, is that they bring value even when it's just one building, because people know the brand internationally and people want to buy into it. So it doesn't need to be a whole community to create the market. The market already exists. And I'll be doing a separate video where I'm talking about this, but I just want to mention it now. Creating demand for a project is the most important factor when it comes to reselling, whether it's before handover, during handover, or after handover. 3 million euros to 6 million euros budget tier. Now here we're going into prime real estate. We're entering the villa market in Palm Jumeirah, the luxury villa market in Dubai Hills, and we're entering Royal Atlantis territory. We're also entering the top branded apartments, the very high floors, the fully furnished, fully finished, ready to rent branded products. So what's the advantage? The advantage is that as we go up, we're getting lower and lower supply of these types of products. So when it's time to resell and the buyer is someone from a billionaire's club, they're picking from this segment, not from the others. 6 million euros to 10 million euro budget tier. Here we're now entering the mid-range top luxury segment. This means we're entering the custom-made villas in Palm Jumeirah that go for around 10 million euros, Emirates Hills territory, which is the most exclusive villa community in Dubai. And from this price point, 10 million euros and up, we're also entering the penthouses. And actually, the penthouses start a bit earlier, even between 6 and 10 million euros. These are the branded, top-positioned penthouses. They're collection level. You have a 1 out of 1. You have a 1 out of 2 penthouses, duplexes, triplexes. We're talking about the highest level. 10 million euro plus budget tier. So now that we're entering the 10 million euro plus, we're entering the branded penthouses. We're still talking about those villas in Emirates Hills I just mentioned. And then from 20 million euros and above, we're entering the top end of the Emirates Hills villa market. Then from 20 million euros to 50 million euros, we're talking about the best villas in Emirates Hills, the best villas in Palm Jumeirah, the top branded penthouses by address in JBR, branded villas and residences that are water-facing in Dubai and in the Bulgaria resort, the best upcoming plots in Palm Jebel Ali and Palm Jumeirah, the best of the best. The 100 million euro budget here, and yes, we also deal with the 100 million segment. Here we're literally talking about a few projects. Penthouses in Mars Al Arab, in front of the Burj Al Arab, penthouses in the Binghatti projects, the select front tip villas in Palm Jumeirah and Palm Jebel Ali, and only the best Bulgari, Emirates Hills, 22 carat, Lamborghini branded penthouses and villas. So what does this mean? Do you need to invest 100 million euros to make a good investment in Dubai? No. This is just the segment we deal with at the very pinnacle of the market. But does that mean you have to invest a specific amount to make a good deal? Not at all. Each budget range has its best opportunities at that specific time. Now, I'm recording this on the 3rd of June 2025, and next month I'll be doing an update. Each month we'll release a project update, and this will be the backbone of the series. Because every day, every week, there might be a new opportunity, or there might be an offer that didn't exist the day before. So really, it all depends on the timing and what's best at that moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next consultation.